friends, this is Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, and today is Sunday, February 18th. It is a rainy Sunday here in Florida. It's getting colder. I think it's going to warm up this week, but I'm not sure. The weather has been so up and down. One day it's warm, one day it's cold for us at least. And the past 2 days it's been raining, so it's just a little wacky, but nonetheless, I am excited to be back with you today. Thank you to everyone who watched my Brenda Gervais whip parade. It was so much fun to do. And a special thanks to Brenda and Laura from Brenda and the Cereal Starter for mentioning it on their video. And I had lots of people come over from there. So thank you guys, and thank you to those of you who stopped by to check out the whip parade, and then some people even watched a few of my other videos. So I really appreciate that. This week was busy as usual. It was Valentine's Day, so my kids had all three of them had different things they needed. Their Valentines, they had parties and all kinds of stuff. So that was busy. And then my own class, we had Valentine's Day. So it was a fun week, just busy, as I think every week is busy. And I'm sure everyone is feeling that. I do feel like that this month is going by much faster than January. And I cannot believe it is the 18th already. And this coming Thursday, I am going to be heading to Clearwater Beach for the Beach Please Retreat, hosted by Stacy and her husband, Brian, and they are Thread the Needle Stitchery, and I am so excited. I cannot believe it's finally here. It was, I think, a year and a half ago when they announced it, and I was immediately signed up because it was in Florida, and I, of course, love Stacy and want to support her and her business. And just her in general, but I could not be more excited. There are so many people that I am excited also to be meeting at the retreat. And if you are a subscriber and you're going, make sure to put it in the comments and come and find me, because I've said this before. You see me, I don't ever see you. So I don't know, unless I've met you before, I do not know what you look like. So come up and say hi. But I'm thrilled to be getting out of town, going to a retreat, and hoping to get some motivation. And I'll talk about that in a minute. I know I do Flosstube, and I love stitching so much, but sometimes even I get, and I know other people feel the same way, I just kind of feel lost and I don't know what to do. I will show you my finished piece of every opening flower in a minute. And after I finished that piece, I felt like I didn't know what I wanted to stitch. I have so many whips and projects going. And then I also have my basket of 24 starts, my Brenda Gervais pieces to pick from, but it was like nothing was saying stitch me. So I did also, and I will share this as well, I did get my retreat gifts done, along with I did a little sewing. I made a new sewing mat for myself and a stitching box. So I was doing some other crafting in between to kind of, I still felt like I wanted to be creative, but picking up a piece of stitching, like nothing was calling to me. And I'm sure many of you can relate. And so I just started looking at stuff, and then of course I also went and bought some things because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. So I'll share that though throughout the video. But before I get to my finish, I did get back from the framer 3 of my pieces. I took these to Hobby Lobby and I had them framed, and I could not be more happy and excited. The first one, which I had shown finished a video or 2 ago, was my Blessing Sampler, which is Needleworkers Sampler by Brenda Gervais. And this is my framed piece. And I love it so much. I love the frame. You can see It's a distressed white, and it's so, so pretty. And I'm going to put this on the shelving behind me, which you can see that I changed out my background. I did put some different shelving, and I do have new decorations on my tree. So my goal for this year, I felt like last year I left the Valentine's Day up for a long time. My goal for this year is for each month / kind of season is I want to change out my tree behind me. I had taken it down when I was trying to decide what to do as far as my decorations, but I felt like the back behind me was bare and I wanted to put that tree up. So I did get some Eastery spring type of decorations. So that's one of my goals for this year, is to make sure that is decorated. The next piece, which this is the same exact frame I used for the Needleworkers sampler, is Light of Winter by Brenda Gervais as well, and I absolutely love this. Now this piece I will not keep up in my house all the time, but I am planning to hang it upstairs in my craft room to show or to be able to look at for myself all the time. And I'll put this downstairs on my mantle when it's Christmas / winter time, because I feel like it would go through winter. And the last piece I got framed is Sally Spencer by Birds of a Feather. And this one, it has like a, let's see if I can, it has black with the beading on the edge. This one I am also going to put upstairs behind me. And what was I going to say about this? I forget. But I showed this. I changed my name. And when I picked this up from the framer, it was a different person was working at the counter. And she said, I thought this was a vintage sampler. And then I realized that your name was on it. So then she figured out that I stitched it. But this is one of my favorite pieces. Now, it doesn't really go with the colors in my house, which is why I'm going to put it up here for now. But it's so fun. So Sally Spencer by Birds of a Feather. And all of these were completed and they were sitting in my project roll, and I'm like, they're just sitting here and I want to see them all the time. So let me go and I tried out Hobby Lobby. I hadn't used them before, and I was very pleased with the pricing and the framing. So that is my fully finished cross stitch. Now I am going to show you my finish of Every Opening Flower by Brenda Gervais, and this was almost finished in my whip parade. I had a little bit more to go, and I think it took me another 2 days. I thought I could get it done in one, but the border took me a little bit longer than I thought. It wasn't a difficult border. It just had more colors than I thought, and it took more time to switch out and do each color. So let me switch the camera and I will show you that. All right, this is my finish of Every Opening Flower. I absolutely love this. It was very fun to stitch, and if you can see up, and if you have the pattern, you'll see in the bird's wings, those are Smyrna crosses, and I think that adds something really unique that I don't have. I do have Smyrna crosses on other pieces, and I enjoy doing them, but I felt like doing the them on the wing, that was a great touch by Brenda. The border, this is the border I was talking about. Specifically, this part is what was taking me a long time. I did use the called for colors. I used the called for linen, which is 36 count Winter Brew by R&R, and I had bought this fully kitted by Dying to Stitch. So I am, like I said, I am thrilled to have this finished. I will put this downstairs somewhere to have out all the time. It goes with my decor. So I cannot wait to get this framed. I am not sure if I am going to take it back to Hobby Lobby, or I might try a different framer just to kind of try a few places and see what my favorite is. My This Is the Day by Plum Street Samplers that I've shown in a previous video, that one was framed at a local frame shop near me, and I really liked how that came out. So I'm not sure where this is going, but it will go somewhere, and I want to get this on my wall as soon as I can. So that was my my finish of my cross stitch, and I finished that let's see, on February 3rd. So I guess it did only take one more day. So I finished that, and then I didn't know what to do, but I bought, and I showed this in a previous video, I bought the Mercantile fabric from Lori Holt, and I have loved her coloring on the fabric. And so I decided for my retreat, I would make myself a new mat, a cross stitch mat to sit on the table. So I used this is all one fabric. I did quilt it, and then I put a single color on the bottom. I did use the measurements from my tutorial, which I will have a link to that below. It is on my channel, and it is called the Sweetwater Stitcher Stitching Mat Tutorial. I also, on my blog, which is sweetwaterstitcher.com, I have a written tutorial. With my video tutorial, you do need to go to the blog to see the cutting instructions as far as what to do. However, the main premise of it is that it is measured with a 16.5-inch square ruler. I'm pretty sure I cut this one down to 16 inches. I like the square. It is a Creative Grid square ruler. You could use any ruler. I think it is convenient to use the square because I just set the ruler on top of the fabric and cut all the way around it, and it's easy. My other mats, they have different piecing on the side. One of them has a cross stitch actually two of them have cross stitches in the middle. There's lots and lots of different things. I did also add in the binding, I added some rickrack, and I added rickrack here. Really, I was just trying to play around with the different methods that look different than my other mats. I had never sewn rickrack into binding before, and I mean, it's very hard to see, but down at the bottom, it did stick out a little bit, but I mean, the mat is for me, and it's going to sit on the table like this, and I'm going to have my pocket hang down, so, I mean, it's just for fun, and it's not something I'm giving someone, so it doesn't matter. Also, I normally try to evenly space out my pockets, but what I did on this one is I took my metal book stand, and this is from Amazon, and I measured it so that it would fit in this middle pocket, so that when I'm done for the day, if I'm going to take this with me or pack it up, I can fold it, and I can fold this down like this, and then I can stick this in my bag. That was just something I wanted to try. I do not feel like it stretches the mat out at all. It goes right back to laying down. But if you are going to do that, I would if you're using the metal book stand, I would put it in under the fabric and then measure your lines just to make sure that it fits in there. But that was just, again, I was having fun playing around, trying to see what else I could do to the mat, and I'm excited to use this. So that was the mat that I did. And then in addition to that, I forgot to bring my other one up here. I had bought a black jewelry case from Amazon, and I also had bought a blue one, and they had just been sitting there, and I wanted to decorate them. So the blue one, I showed a picture of that on my Instagram. I decorated the bottom with the French General fabric, and I had some different ribbon here. And so this one I wanted to make to match my mat. So I will take all of this to the retreat. And again, just something extra and fun to have. And I might make a French General mat to match my other box, just because it's fun and creative. I feel like you cannot have enough of mats. You can't have enough of these. I like everything to match. So I also had bought a project bag that I'll probably put the project bag. But that's just me because it's fun. I can create them and it all matches together. Okay, so for this, I used the same rickrack. All I did was glued the rickrack here. These were just another Button Company pins that I stuck in here. I have my scissors and just some needles. I was using this the other day. I did glue in some other ones I made. In the French General one, I glued this magnet underneath so I could stick the needle minder here and you wouldn't see the magnet, but I forgot to do it on this one, so I just glued it on the top. Also, the scissors would fit in this section. Then I made, and this is just open. I felt like after I took the things out of here, which I don't know if I'm going to do a tutorial on exactly what to do, but I can show you at some point what it looks like before. But it had 3 sections, so I took one of the other crossbars out and I just left one of them. But when I tore this up and then I cut out my sticky board for the bottom and covered it, there was a few gaps in the edges. So in this one, I just added the rickrack to the bottom to cover it up. And in my other one, I put some Lady Dot chenille on the edges. Total personal preference. You can kind of see it right here a little bit. But again, you're going to have things in here. It's going to get covered up. It's not really that big of a deal. I did my best to get the piece of mat or sticky board to be the right size, but it's a little bit hard to get it exactly. But I had made this with, again, the same fabric. This is a needle book. And to make this, I used the press-on circles that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. They were pre-cut, so I did not have to cut these. Then on the inside, these are the smaller size, pre-cut. I have rickrack, and underneath of here are magnets. So I can put, if I pull this out, I can put a needle and it sticks to here. And then, this is the tricky part. You have to make sure your magnets are not going to repel. When I shut it, it's magnetized together. And I mean, they do kind of go back between each side, but that's okay. And then I have some twill tape to tie it. And just another little extra thing to put in your case, and this fits perfectly right inside of here. I could always take this out and put it in my pocket and put other things in here, but I didn't really have anything else to store in there at the time. Another thing you can do, and this is not the thread for this project, but if you have your ring of floss, so like you're working on a project, the floss fits nicely in this section, and then you can shut it and it'll all be and shut in there. All right, and then I gave away what was on the top. So what I did is I used my silhouette to cut out my monogram to go on the top. Sarah from Handmade by Sarah W., she has a case and she did a cross stitch and put it on the top. I didn't have time to do that, so I stuck my monogram. Now, this is how it opens up. So you'll see it's upside down, and I did that so when I opened it up and it's sitting on, let me see if I can, it's sitting on my table, the person across from me would see the monogram. So that's total, again, personal preference. If you were to do that, you could put it the other way, but I just put it that way. So I have this ready to go for my retreat with my mat and my case. And then I have a project bag that is in the Lori Holt fabric. So I got a whole little thing going on here. But that's just an extra creative outlet that I enjoyed. And that was something fun to make when I did not know what to do. I was stuck. I wasn't in the mood to stitch, but I wanted something creative. So I thought that was fun. All right. Now I am going to stay on this camera because I do want to show the whips that I did work on. So my whips were on the 4th. That was my anniversary. And I started Our Hearts. And this was one of the patterns that was for my 24 and 24. And I'm doing all of my starts are with Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais, and this was one of them. And that was my anniversary. So I decided to start this. I have a very small start. It is a little bit hard to see. I'll lift it up a little. But I started with and I'll put this here so you can see, I started with the basket in hopes that I would then go into the flowers. And looking at this now, I do want to get back to this. I kind of forgot I had started this. So that's another reason it's good to pull out what's in your basket to see. So this one I would like to, it's not going to get done this month, but in the next month or so, I'd like to see if I could stretch myself and get this done. It's not a lot of stitching. This is probably the most. The words will go quickly, and then the borders up here and here. So this is definitely on the to-do list. I do not know what I'm taking to the retreat. This could potentially be for the retreat, or I might take a new start. I'm not sure, but I would like to get back to this. And I'm using all the called for colors, and this is 36 count Vintage Country Mocha, which is what the pattern calls for. I also am participating in the Blackbird Designs Smalls Exchange hosted by Holly, Mrs. Jones Stitches. And this is the pattern I chose. I did get a decent amount done. Of course, I absolutely love this pattern. I've wanted to stitch it for a long time, pretty much since I got the book. And then every time I see Blackbird at a retreat, they have this. It's really big, blown up. It makes me want to stitch it. However, because I am on a timeline to get this done, I don't want to stitch it. So I need to just hunker down and get this finished. I need to have it fully finished by March 1st and in the mail to the recipient. So as you can see, I do not have very much more to do. I just need to pick a day, or probably take 2 more days and get this done. But I love how it looks, and I will stitch this again for myself. And this is on, forget which fabric I picked. It's a 32 count. I know that. I want to say it's Sugar Cookie by Color and Cotton. It is a 32 count, and I'm using 1 strand of floss, and I like the coverage, and I like that it's not super thick. I really like stitching with 1 strand, and I thought I would give it a try on 32 count, and I really do like the look. So I need to get that done. All right. Oh, this is not this one, but another one I brought and I forgot to bring it upstairs, was Ann Richardson for Carrie Tiger Lily Designs birthday Sal, I did start that on the 5th, and I'm stitching that with the called for Vicky Clayton silks. And I will bring that next time to show you guys. I got a little bit done, but not very much. I just wanted to get that started. All right, then I had 2 days of no stitching at all. And before I started this, I was working on Channing Street by Annie Beez Folk Art, and I thought, maybe this will get me motivated and I can get this done before market. And I started stitching it, and then I don't know. I love it and I will get it done for sure. But I just, again, was like in a strange mood. And I say all of this to be completely transparent with you, that just because I do Flosstube does not mean that I am always motivated either. And I know some people go through that, and I just want to be honest that that's how I was feeling this week, or week and a half, or 2 weeks, whatever, however long it has been. So I was able to, though I got a decent amount done, is I was able to go in and fill in more of the house. I stitched the flowers in the middle, and then I stitched a couple of the strawberries on the border. Now down here, she has charted animals, and I don't think I want to put the animals, so I'm either going to leave it like this and then fill the grass in, or I have also considered doing, like, this is a, I don't know, like a rainbow of flowers, I guess you could say. I'm considering doing an additional stem with some flowers on either side to have something else in the grass, and then I'll fill the grass in. But I don't think I'm going to put any animals in the grass. So finishing the house, the border, there's some stuff on top, and then the part in the middle, and then I'll be done. So again, and I need to finish the border here. It's a lot of just, I need to sit down and be motivated on the piece, which I will get to a point, which is what happened with every opening flower, where I got to a point that I was head down. I just wanted to work on the one piece and get it finished. And I definitely feel like that is something I have not felt before, but I have started feeling this year, is to get things finished, is I do get to a point, like I said, in the stitching where I just want to focus on the one piece. So a little bit more on this, and I think I'll get to that point, but I, again, was distracted and wanted to pick something else up, which is fine. And I mean, I don't have to have this done by market. I just thought, well, I'll get it done, because she does have another piece that is coming out that I really want to start. It has similar vibes with the house and some other things. So we'll see what happens. All right. So then after that, I was watching Katie with So Tattered, and I have had this pattern, which this was not in my 24 starts. However, what I have done with a few things is I have decided to kind of switch them out. So whatever the new love pattern Key to My Heart from Brenda Gervais, instead of stitching one of the snowman pieces I set out, I decided to start that. So this one, I will take one of the ones I was going to start off of the lineup, and I started this. Katie from So Tattered, and I am drawing a blank. Her Instagram name is Snap. I want to say her name is Lisa. She's starting this for her birthday tomorrow. So I thought, I saw Katie's floss, and it really, really motivated me to pull this out. This was a release from last year, right around this time. I bought the Vicky Clayton silk, and I never started it. And the reason was because of the house, which I've heard Carol Saltbox Stitcher talk about the house, and a few other people. It looks orange. It is in Clockwork, which is an orange color. It's very pretty, the picture. I don't know what was stopping me. So this is the pattern. I did, at the time also, I had bought the called for fabric, which is, it is an R&R, and of course now I'm drawing a blank. I cannot remember. Let me see if it's right here. No, that's not it. I don't remember, but I decided it was a little bit darker than what the picture looks like. Katie was using a lighter linen as well, and I thought, I want to get another big piece going. I really liked I don't really even know how to explain it. It was like the feeling of stitching on every opening flower, which was a really big piece, having kind of goals and getting it done. So I was really what I was looking for when I was done with that was another large piece to really get into. And I didn't necessarily think I was going to start it and not work on anything else, but I wanted to find another large piece that I could work on and really get into. So I started this in hopes this would be it, which we'll see. I'm going to get back to it, and hopefully I can get really motivated to do it. So we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I'm in a strange stitching funk. But what I ended up doing is I decided to pull, which all of this was from my stash, so I did not buy any of these colors, is I decided to pull the overdyed instead of the Vicky Clayton, which I will use the Vicky Clayton colors for something else. I just really wanted to stitch with the cotton instead of the silk. So I pulled the cottons and I started it, and this is 36 count Chantilly by Color and Cotton, which it's closer to the picture than what the I want to say it's American Chestnut is what it was stitched on, which is definitely more of a brown. So I kind of wanted to go with the lighter. I did change. This color is supposed to be more of a purpley color, and I changed that to Cinnabar, I believe. Yes, Cinnabar. And then the yellows, I'm using Weeks Dye Works Curry for the dark. And then the light is the silk that came in the silk pack. And then for my bricks and for my house, I am using Carolina Cecil by by Weeks Dye Works, which is still this is the color. It's still in the orangey family. However, it's a little bit more of a brick to me than clockwork. So I definitely feel like it looks similar to the colors. I don't know. So they are starting this, like I said, tomorrow as a birthday sal. I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and get it started and see if it speaks to me and see if I can get working on this as well to have. It's so pretty. I also, and I'm completely unsure about this, I don't know if I'm going to stitch her name. I am toying with the idea, and I know it's a reproduction and I would be changing it, but you can do whatever you want to do. It's your own stitching. I'm toying with taking the birds out and this cartouche with her name and putting in an alphabet up here. I like stitching the alphabet, and I did find one on a pattern I just got from Stacy Nash that it would fit perfectly right here. So I'm considering doing that. However, I haven't made up my mind, so we'll see as I'm stitching it if I want to do that or not. But that is the story on this. And that's all of the whips that I worked on for this week. So I do want to show a couple things I'm considering, I kind of have toyed with working on. This is, excuse me. This was a whip, or is a whip. However, it would be a restart because I'm not entirely loving the linen. Now, this is a pattern that Stacy is coming out with at market. Now, it was from the Homespun Needleworks group. It was an exclusive, and it was one of her pouches, and I love the pattern. It's the one with the blue roof. So I did start it on the called for linen. Here, I don't have a big start. This obviously in the picture is lightened. It's much lighter. I saw someone finish it the other day on Instagram, and they used flannel flower from Fox and Rabbit, which I have, but I feel like my flannel flower compared to theirs looks more yellow. But I did have a piece of 36 count fog by Picture This Plus, and I feel like that looks much more like the picture. So I'm thinking about restarting this on the fog linen, and even though it's not Brenda Gervais, I'm going to count it as a whip because I had started it before. I would be restarting it, but I'm still kind of putting that in the whip category. And this is coming out at market, so I thought it might be fun to work on. I am not 100% sold on starting it or restarting it, but we'll see. But this is potentially in the plans. And really, my motivation to finding something to work on was I'm going to the retreat this weekend, or this coming weekend, and I am maybe going to work on the retreat piece, but I wanted to have one project to bring with me that I could try to focus on. So I don't know if I'm putting too much pressure on myself, and that's why I can't decide, or I don't know. This one also I want to work on. This was in my whip parade. I had started it on 32 count. I went back and forth about stitching it on the 32, but like I said, I really like stitching with one thread. So I am going to restart this. I hadn't done very much, but I love this. And I have the called for linen, which is 36 count winter brew. And here are the called for colors. So this one I want to start either now, or I might wait till March to start it, but this will be another, again, a restart, which I'm okay with, because if I'm going to stitch on something, even if it was a whip, if I don't have more, I don't really have a set, like I need to have less than this percentage done. But if I don't have very much done and I'm not enjoying the linen, I do not want to keep going, because I'm not going to want to pick that piece up to work on. I want it to be on a linen that I enjoy stitching on, that I look at it and I say, I want to work on this today. So that's my reasoning for the restarts. It's not because I dislike what the linen, the look, or any of that. It's just, it's not really calling to me anymore, that coloring. So I just want to put it on something I absolutely love. And this was a piece of haul. I was able to get a bag from Michelle Lee Quilt, and this is from the Teresa Koget line. And so I thought it was perfectly appropriate to put the Harrietta & Co. in here. So I'm in the next couple weeks, which soon it's going to be March anyways, I'm thinking about starting this, or restarting it, I guess I would say. And I think I got rid of the other piece. But it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't very much. But it was on 32 count. And, I mean, you saw I was stitching something on 32 count. I just am not absolutely loving the 32 count right now. So, all right, let's switch back to the front camera. And I am going to share with you some haul that I got. Now, it is more than I thought I had. But I did have one day where I decided, well, I'm going to go shopping on 123 Stitch. So I did watch Rosanna from Nest of Petals. She went to her LNS, and they were she was doing her Flosstube there, and she did a tour around the whole store, and some of these were models on the wall, and I thought, oh, I like those. And I've seen a few people stitching them. So the first one was Awake My Soul by La Di Da. So pretty. Then also, I had never seen this, which is surprising because I love Plum Street. This is called Gathering Honey by Plum Street. So pretty. Also, I have seen this and I love this piece. This is Count Twice, Stitch Once. And I saw Shelly from Antique Needleworkers. She stitched this as a stitch, and then she made it into a retreat mat, and I thought that was a really good idea. This would be a fun piece to make a retreat mat with. So I'm considering, if I stitch this at some point, making it into a retreat mat. I also bought, this was from Michelle Farm Girl Dry Goods, and these every purchase has a story, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So right after I posted my video, or right before, and I just hadn't seen it yet, Tara from Sully Stitches posted her regular Flosstube, and on her, it was Flosstube number 2, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it. She did a designer spotlight of finishes, and her designer spotlight was Brenda Gervais. So while I was watching her video, after I had done my whip parade, and of course I have lots of other patterns that aren't in my whip parade, and they're not in my starts of Brenda's, there were some I didn't know, and so I thought, well, I really like that finish. So I went shopping on Michelle's website while I was watching the Flosstube. So I too, I might enable you, but I also am enabled by other people's Flosstubes. So it's a whole cycle. But I mean, feel like you can never have too many of Brenda's charts in your pile. So the first one was One for the Crow. And this is really cute and it comes with both patterns. Also, I don't know how I didn't have this, Holiday Hoopla, the Halloween one. I have a few of the other ones. Also, I thought this was cute, to quote Shakespeare, and I've seen this a few times. Basket full of wintertime, and I have the Halloween one, and I think I have another one of them, but I didn't have this one. Winter in Baltimore. And then, let's see. That was what I bought from Michelle. And then, and this one I bought from her. Brambleberry Bunting. I thought this would look really pretty and put it near my every opening flower. And then these I bought from my LNS, which is Needleworkers. And this, which is called A Weaver's Work. And this would be fun to pick some type of variegated floss and stitch this. Then these were her new releases, Happy Easter, Hello Spring, which I am planning to do this one this year. I have the other ones. Well, I don't have Joy and Good Cheer. That's in my whips, but I have the American, the Home Sweet Home, and the fall one I have done. So I want to do this. So I bought all the threads for that. And then I also bought Grandma's Candy Dish. This one and the Happy Easter, I'm just going to put those in my Brenda Gervais library, not necessarily start those this year. But I like to have her charts so that if I want to start them, or just to kind of have a library of her charts. This was, along with this piece of Chantilly, this is Boardwalk by Color and Cotton. And Angela, she did a special pre-order on her site, and I believe she's about to do another one. Now, she writes on there exactly what the lead time is. I want to say it's like 3 to 4 weeks or 4 to 5 weeks. You can pre-order. She has like select colors, and you can pre-order them, and then she'll ship them. It is a kind of her compromise in order to offer the linen. It's so pretty. It's hard to get sometimes. You can get it from Needleworkers stores. She does sell wholesale. But sometimes when you're looking for specific colors, you can't find them. So this was her way to help people be able to get them. So I did see she's going to have another one soon. All right, what else did I get? This was from Starlight Stitching Co. And I got another one too, but it's in a project. This is one of her clutches, which I had bought a lot of these before, and I hadn't really been using them. But recently, I'm really enjoying having the thread bed and putting my floss in here and this like sitting next to me. So I bought another couple of these to put in my bags as I was working. All right, then let's see. I got a piece of Dusty Cottage, sorry for the crinkle, from Be Stitched Me, and this is really pretty. Dusty Cottage is this color. I do not know what I'm going to put on this, but I thought it was really pretty. And that was in a 36 count. I was also able to, and this is on, I don't know what's left. Sorry, I've got all kinds of stuff in this box over here. I was able to get from Happy Little Stitch Shop a couple pieces of legacy fiber art. Now, Sue, who is the dyer, she's not dyeing right now, but she had sold to Happy Little Stitch Shop, and she sold to Rachel at Treehouse Fiber Arts. Rachel doesn't have any in her shop right now, but Happy Little Stitch Shop still had some. So this is 36 count millstone, and she had some Aida and she had some linen. So if you like Legacy Fiber Arts, you might want to go check over there. I think Sue is going to dye again, linen, but I'm not sure. This is Popover 36 count, which is like the lighter color, or her lightest color, I guess you would say. It's pretty. And let's see. Okay, this piece, this was the actual February club piece from Color and Cotton, and this is Hay Bale Medium, and this is, let me see if I can get both of those. This is the color and this is the name. Very pretty color. That was the fabric of the month, which I'm in that club. All right, then, like I said, there was lots of haul. I don't really know how this happened, but it somehow just happened. I was able to get, which some of these I have. So some of the ones I have, they will become a giveaway, which I'll talk about that in a minute. But I was able to get, it's almost all of the word plays by Brenda Gervais from Stash Unloading, and I have been looking for these. Stash Unloading, you just have to keep checking and hope that you're one of the first ones to see it. There's no rhyme or reason for when people post. There's no rhyme or reason to, I mean, it's the first person who comments me please, but it's not, I mean, I'm not on there all the time, but I happened to go on and someone listed these and I went and got them. I have been dying to have the whole set because I really would like to stitch them and have them out all the time, or like each month have them out, but I hadn't gotten all of them yet. So I was able to get that on Stash Unload. And then a couple patterns from Stacy at Thread the Needle Stitchery. She had Dashing Through the Snow, Winter Wonderland, which I had borrowed the original pattern from a friend, and I'm going to send that back to her. So, because I don't know when I'm going to get this done, but I wanted to have this for myself. So I bought that from her. And then I did not buy this at Christmas. This is Most Wonderful. And I have the Punch Needle magazine with the other one. So these at Christmas time, I would love to get those done sometime. So I bought that from Thread the Needle Stitchery. And if you, this is her QR code. If you shop on her site and you use the code Sweetwater 10, you can get 10% off. And again, it's Thread the Needle. Let me get that close. Thread the Needle Stitchery. All right. Then, I'm sure you're saying, how can there be more? This was from a little while ago. This was a silk pack from Bestitched Me, Valentine's Pink. So even this might be fun. I know this isn't really pink colored, but like pick one of these pinks to do this. And then I got, let's see, these were 2 exclusives. Well, one was a club, one was an exclusive. This is I Am in the A Little Help from Our Friends Stitching Circle Club with Silver Needle, and this was the chart that we got. This is from Tanya at the Scarlet House, Flowers and Friendships, and it comes all kitted with the linen thread and the pins that go in it. So you can, I don't think the pins are in this picture, but little pins that go with it. And then this is an exclusive, and you can still get this. So if you like it, go over and join the group. This is from the Homespun Needlework group on Facebook. And I talked about their exclusives before, but this is the current one of the current exclusives. This is from Stacy Nash. It's kitted by Acorns and Threads, and you get the fabric and floss for the sampler and for both of these pieces. Okay, the fabric is 30, or I think you can choose the count actually, but the color is Broom Grass by Needle Bling Designs. The floss is you get full skeins of Weeks Dye Works, and then also you get this corner gauge, and obviously the patterns. So this is exclusive for that group. You have to join to be able to buy it. Now, that other piece I was showing you guys, the other piece I was showing you, the Caroline's sewing bag, that was an exclusive last year, and now she's releasing it at market. I do not know if everything that is an exclusive always comes out. I kind of feel like most of them. I know there is a large project from Needlework Press that is on there as well right now that is not going to come out, to my understanding. But I think this, like in a year or so, will come out to the general public. But I don't know all of that stuff. The last thing I want to show you that I did get is these are from April, and I want to tell you the right name. April Taylor with Homestead Needleworks, and I wanted to, it's all prompted because I wanted to get this board, which Annie from the Proper Stitcher finished hers. It has a heart at the top. And it's a pink wooden board. I'm trying to get it so it's not glaring. There we go. And she's on Etsy. So then while I was there, I got this. This is a green board. And the white one, and I was getting these to maybe put my exchange piece on. I don't know if it's gonna fit or not. And then also this bowl, which was painted. And this one actually goes with I think it's a Scarlet House piece. You like stitch stuff to go in this bowl, but I thought even if I don't stitch, I have the pattern. Even if I don't stitch the things, this would just be a fun bowl to put stuff in next to you or whatever. But it's all painted and everything, which is nice. All right, so that was all of my haul, which is a lot, but I hadn't bought really a lot prior to that, and I just, like I said, I've been in a kind of a stitching funk, and that just kind of made me happy. So I feel like do what makes you happy. If you want to buy stuff, buy it. If you don't, if you want to be on a no buy, whatever, you do what makes you happy, and you can only control yourself. That's my philosophy. So I do want to announce the giveaway winner for the giveaway, which was Sewing Spool Trio by April. This is also out for PDF, or you can buy this from different shops. And the winner, and if you can send me an email at sweetwaterstitcher@gmail.com, and I will pass your email to April, and then she will get you this as a PDF. And the winner is it's Carrie, either Peacher or Petcher, Pecher. So congratulations, Carrie, on winning this. Thank you guys also for commenting and letting me know what color you would like to use if you were to stitch monochromatic. It was really fun to read. There was lots of reds and blues, but there was also other colors too. Pinks, green, some were DMC, some were variegated. It was really fun to see what you would stitch if you did a monochromatic piece. So that is what I have for today. Like I said, I'm going to the retreat on Thursday. I do not know what I'm bringing to stitch. I'm planning to bring one project, hoping to get a lot of work done on it. Again, while I'm there, Emily Call is the designer, and I am maybe gonna start the piece she gives us. I don't know if I'm really into my stitching piece, maybe not, but maybe on a whim I'll decide to do it. I know they'll be stitching. She has a few pieces coming out that she is releasing to us first there, and so we'll see. I don't know. Do look though next week for a special edition going through what I packed for my retreat and the gifts. I will record a video to show you guys the table gifts I made, and just to kind of give you an idea if you're going to a retreat what you might want to bring. So I'm going to have that come out next week, and I'll have that pre-recorded and everything. So also, right before I leave, I meant to say this earlier. So today is Sunday. On Wednesday, I am going to be on Nicole Spohr, her channel, at 8 p.m. doing a live with her. So if you are available on Wednesday and want to join us, you guys come, join, stitch, ask questions. It'll be me and Nicole talking. I won't be stitching probably because I'll be trying to talk and answer questions, but come and join us over on Nicole's channel. We are going to be doing a giveaway as well, but just come to have some stitching fun and see what we're up to. But so until next week, next week I'll have a video. But until next time of my normal floss tube, I hope you guys get lots of stitching in and stay nice and warm. Bye.